strategic roads. 5,500 additional new recruits will be joining various colleges in the country this very week. In keeping with our promise to increase personnel and ensure more boots on the ground, we are pleased to announce that this week there is those new trainees that are joining, as I said, starting to undergo the basic police development learning program. Amongst these are those that have got matric, which is NQF level 5 qualification, and there will be those, they will undergo a 9 months police training, and there are those that have got NQF 6 or higher, which they will undergo a 6 months training program. In the last years, we deployed 20,000 as was promised by the President, you remember, and we definitely delivered on that. With regard to arrest, we effected since October to now end of January. Overall, we have got 2 million patrols that were conducted, more than 4,600 roadblocks, 620 stop and searches, and more than 2 million persons were searched. We have over 78,000 liquor license premises compliance inspection done, and more than 12,000 compliance inspections done at firearm dealers as well as security companies. A total of 6,547 licensed liquor premises were shut down throughout the country, and the operations as outlined yielded the following results. People arrested for murder and attempted murder were 4,501. Arrested for rape and attempt were 3,983. 27,640 arrested for assault GBH, and 17,311 for common assault. 4,675 were arrested for dealing in drugs, while 27,000 for possession of drugs. 10,042 were arrested for dealing in liquor. 1,952 were arrested for legal possession of firearm, while 1,380 were arrested for being in possession of being illegal in possession of ammunition. 9,540 were arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol during the festive period. During the same time, we had 25,950 illegal immigrants who were illegally in the country, which we were arrested and, of course, are undergoing through processes of court and Department of Home Affairs. In terms of seizures and recoveries, a total of 2,198 illegal and unlicensed firearms were seized and confiscated during operations. This include 1,731 handguns, 154 homemade guns, 211 rifles, and 102 shotguns. The majority of these seized firearms were confiscated in KwaZulu-Natal, Gauteng, Eastern Cape, and Western Cape. But of course, take note, the number of firearms seized will not be equivalent to the number of cases of illegal possession of firearms, because some firearms are seized where there is no arrest made. The firearms remain a big problem in the country, as most of the serious and violent crimes, including murders, are committed through the use of firearms. In this regard, 37,658 rounds of ammunition were seized. There was a number of explosives, also 1,767 explosives, which are being used for either ATM bombing or are used for cash heist. And over 116,000 cell phones were also confiscated during the operations, and 960 stolen and hijacked vehicles were also recovered during the period. Our men and women in blue remain relentless in tracking and tracing and apprehending perpetrators of GBV and F. And between October 2024 and December 2024, a total of 685 GBV and F perpetrators were convicted by courts during this period. That means, what I'm saying is not to say these crimes were committed between October and December, but however it means the cases were finalized during that period at courts. 110 GBV perpetrators were sentenced to life imprisonment during this period, meaning the case might be 5, 10 or more than 10 years ago, but they were only finalized during that period. 71 perpetrators were sentenced to 20 years and above. 174 perpetrators were sentenced to between 10 years, from 10 years up to 19 years, and 330 were sentenced to up to 9 years in prison. Convictions from 1st of October to 31st December. During this period, we had 9,908 accused who were found guilty and convicted for various other crimes, including murder, armed robberies, house robberies, carjackings, and including, of course, rape. 603 were handed down life sentences during this period. 71 were convicted for up to 40 years imprisonment, of which 46 of them were convicted for murder, while 12 were convicted for rape. 105 were convicted between 30 and 39 years imprisonment. 750 were convicted for between 20 and 29 years. 3,431 were convicted to between 10 and 19 years. 4,948 were convicted for between 4 and 9 years imprisonment, and 332 were convicted for time in prison for housebreaking, and 5 were handed down life sentences, and another 5 were convicted for 40 or more time in prison. A number of these sentences, some of them will of course run concurrently, some will not, and there were 166 car hijackers convicted also for time in prison. In terms of police killings, we had 30 police killers arrested during the festive season. Ladies and gentlemen, the ongoing attack on the killing of our men and women in blue cannot continue. From October to date, we had 9 members of the police who were killed in the line of duty and 12 off duty. This crime requires all of us to stand together, as we cannot continue losing members of the police that are supposed to be protecting the community. What is encouraging to note is that we have categorized these police killings as a national priority offenses, as the law allows the national head of the Directorate of Priority Crime Investigation to declare certain crime national priority. This has been done by the Lieutenant General Libya, hence these crimes are investigated by the DPCI. It is thus reassuring to know that during this period, 30 police killers were arrested, 7 were convicted to 22 life imprisonment with an additional 725 years imprisonment sentence. On our side, we'll continue to ensure that we operationally prepare our members ready in terms of in-service training, and of course resource them with sufficient resource that they require to do their work. On Valamkoti operation, the operation continues to register commendable results since its inception in December 2023. Our members are still conducting patrols and static duties at some of the shafts, and since the inception to date, 18,000 suspects have been arrested, and majority are illegal immigrants. Still on Valamkoti to date, 458 firearms and 12,000 rounds of ammunition have been seized during operations across the country. 283 trucks, 303 vehicles, and 84 big machinery are also amongst the confiscation from illegal mining operations. Over 5 million in cash and uncut diamonds worth 32 million have been seized, including gold-bearing material have also been seized. More than 1,700 illegal miners were arrested from August 2024 in Stelfontein and are still in police custody. 121 of them have been deported, which includes 80 Mozambicans, 30 Basotho nationals, 10 Zimbabweans. There are also Congolese and Malawians within those that have been deported by the Department of Home Affairs. The Department of Health Forensic Pathologies are busy with the autopsies with assistance of the Saps victim identification, where fingerprints and DNA is being collected and sent to a laboratory for analysis. Our team have collected DNA samples from human remains and fingerprints has been taken. A buccal sample from other family members has also been taken to try and identify these people. On the issue surrounding the escape of a Neo James Chwaidi, also known as Tiger, a dedicated team of seasoned detectives and crime intelligence operatives have been put together by the acting Provincial Commissioner of Northwest to investigate this escape. And up to so far, the results was that 4 of our own members have been arrested, and the members have been removed from the operation, and internal disciplinary proceedings are currently underway. With regard to priorities for our 2025, we will be, of course, continuing with Operation Chanela, which have registered commendable successes, even though, yes, it creates bottleneck in the criminal justice value chain for our other counterparts departments, but we will continue. As long as people who commit crime, we will continue, and of course we will increase visibility with the numbers that we have. We've established various teams that deal with gang-related crimes, serious violent crimes, of course including the extortion, and we will also continue strengthening our crime intelligence. We will also, of course, make sure that we improve our 1011 call center operationally, nationally, and we will reinforce the detective environment. And lastly, we will strengthen our community relations. We thank all members of the CPF, the volunteers, the community patrollers, the neighborhood watches, at all levels, and other government departments, and of course the private security industry that has been assisting us as our eyes and ears and making sure that we respond timely on crimes that they have observed. To our members who did not take leave during festive season, thank you for your commitment, dedication, and the hard work. Stay extra vigilant and operationally ready. Some of you did get some awards last week in Durban, and some of you didn't, but stay focused and stay dedicated. Let's continue to prevent and combat crime in 2025 with the same determination and commitment, and let's stay focused. It is our obligation to protect the people and the inhabitants of this country. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, National Commissioner, for taking us through that official media statement from the SAPS. Ladies and gentlemen, we will then move straight to questions, if there are any, in relation to the media statement that the National Commissioner has presented to, on this podium. I will then, just by indication of hands, we can then take those questions as they come. Are there any questions? I see one hand. You can take the mic. Thank you.
Thanks. Commissioner, can you listen to look on ENCA? Towards the end of your statement, you mentioned what's been happening in Stilfontein, and I know it's a statement about the but can you just get clarity on what's happening there with Tiger Tayedi? Now, Tiger Tayedi. Where is he? Do you know where he is in the first place? And what happened? What went wrong there? And also, how cooperative have the police officers, the 4 police officers that were arrested, how cooperative have they been? And maybe just in terms of that as well, do you have full control of the situation when your own police officers are alleged to be defeating the end of justice?
Thank you very much. Now that question is noted. Any other question? It doesn't look like we have got any other National Commissioner. There is a follow-up instead. If you can just allow it to do a follow-up. Thank you.
Sorry, also on the same issue. Just clarity on the 4 police officers. I know you said that they were removed from the situation. Have they been suspended, or what is their situation? And also a little bit more on them in terms of their history. How long have they been with the police force if they are now involved allegedly in these sorts of incidences? And also, we've heard that more people emerged this week from one of the shops there. This suggests that maybe the police don't have full control of the situation. Just, how do you respond to that?
Okay. Thank you very much for those 2 questions. National Commissioner will request the NEDCOM to respond. Thank you.
Thanks very much. With regard to the tiger, you would recall that after we have became aware that this person has escaped, or he has been aided to escape, as I said, the acting provincial commissioner, Major General Asanin, did launch an investigation, form a team to probe this specific case. And as I said, up to so far, we were able to identify the 4 police officers, and they have been arrested. The case is before court. I can't get into the case itself. It's obviously it's the investigators that knows their case. So at the end of the day, it will be proven whether he was aided, as to how long were they involved. That I don't know, but they were part of the Valamgodi operation. They've been working there. So as to how long were they involved, whether they knew Tiger from when, I don't know. I can't give you answers. But I'm sure the court process will be able to tell us as to exactly what happened and who assisted who, whatever. So I can't get into that space. In terms of what has happened to them, after they appeared in court, of course, they were arrested by our anti-corruption unit in the province of Northern Cape. Northwest. Northwest. I don't know why I say Northern Cape. They were arrested by the provincial anti-corruption unit of the Northwest Province. So what happened to them, the disciplinary process have unfolded, and of course the supervisor to the members will then take a decision. I can't preempt as to what decision he's going to take. As you are saying, are they suspended? Well, suspension is one of those that will probably happen, but the decision is left to the supervisor to take that, which is currently, that process is currently underway. And is there any other question? Okay, thank you. Oh, okay. That's fine. That one is make a Okay, on the question of there's been still miners that emerged, you would recall that the mine rescue team that were there, they went underground. They said that it is cleared, there is nothing there anymore. And we as South African Police Service and our law enforcement, we would recall we don't own mines and we are not trained to go under the mines. We were just told there is nobody there. But yes, I can confirm that in the past 2 weeks, there were people that emerged from Margaret Shaft, and as they were being interviewed, they do indicate they come from those shaft 10 and shaft 11. And they were very fit and healthy. So I can't tell you, I don't know what's happening down there, but surely they were not malnutritioned. They were very, very fit and healthy, and they say they come from there. But they are still being interviewed. We'll get more details in terms of whether is there still more people down there, and we'll take it from there, what they will be telling us. Thank you very much. But she can add.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll allow Deputy National Commissioner Policing just to add on that response that the National Commissioner was giving, specifically on those that are miners that are emerging, in particular from the other shaft, the Margaret shaft in particular. General Msikidi will allow you just to expand on that response. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, General Pokani. Maybe the expansion is on the question of whether we have control over illegal mining since they are still coming. The fact that as they came out, they were arrested, it's an indication that we are very much available at that space, and we are continuing. Said Valumkoti will still continue for as long as there is illegal mining in the country. So we will still be operating in Stilfontein and other parts of the country. Remember, illegal mining is operating in 7 of our mining provinces. So we are in charge of the situation, hence the arrest of those that will still emerge, and they will be interrogated because they are suspects at this moment to get more information, and we will continue to deploy our members at those volatile and hotspots areas. Thank you.
Thank you very much, General Msikidi, for that clarity. And National Commissioner, thank you very much for the responses that the National Commissioner has provided as per the questions that came from the floor. Are there any other questions before we close this media briefing in the absence of any other questions? I see your hand is coming up, but it's not coming up. It's come again?
Can we speak to the Commissioner afterwards?
Afterwards, you are requesting for a one-on-one. Okay. General, I'm sure we can arrange and deal with that request after the media briefing. Well, in the absence of any other questions from the members of the media, National Commission, I think this brings us then to the end of this media briefing session by the SAPS, led by the National Commissioner of the South African Police Service. National Commissioner, Deputy National Commissioners, Divisional Commissioners that are in our midst, and thank you very much, members of the media, for your continued support in the work that we do. God bless you.